I'm really excited because we're going to be talking about we're going to be talking about solar. So for the third time, and I'll tell you why for the third time, I have Lisa McNeil here from SUNPOWER. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you
for joining again. We always have so much fun together. If it was Friday at 5, we'd actually be popping some wine after this.
Then I'd really be making fun of people. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm very nice.
No, you are. So anyway, the reason why I actually have Lisa on here for the third time is the first time she was actually talking about solar, and this is before I had solar. The second time she came, we had already had an amazing installation of solar. I mean, it was perfect. And you guys, the way they install it, which I'm going to want you to talk about too, and their service was crazy, amazing. And so that was the second time. Now a year has passed. So what do I think of my investment of solar, and was it a true savings for me? So we're going to definitely dive into that. So if you guys are on the fence about solar, or even need to add panels, because we just had our friend add panels in Granite Bay, so she needed more. So Lisa handled that. So if you even need more solar, tune in. Let's talk about it. Put your questions online in the comment section, and Michelle, my assistant, she's going to text me and we'll have Lisa answer them. Okay, so let's first, all right, so I got the reason why, and I'm going to even show you a recent, you did a comparison recently with somebody, so I'll be showing that. So my whole point in getting solar is I have a house that's 3,300 square feet, I have a pool, and I have a spa. Depending on the high summer months, my AC was running in my pool, and my bill was running $600 to $800 in 1 month. So that was crazy. And then now I think because I'm running the heater, it's kind of come up a little bit too. But I will say, after 1 year, my bill came to $70, $69.47. That was crazy. That's one right here. So that was after a year. Okay, but before we get into that, let's talk about, I've had it for a year. What are the benefits of solar?
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so, and what are the benefits of solar? That is the big hot topic today. And a lot of the new homes have to have solar. And I think SUNPOWER is on a lot of the new
all
homes
new
too.
homes have to have solar.
Okay, so why should anybody right now that doesn't have solar that they should have solar? I can answer it, but I'd like you to answer it.
You know, it's one of those things that there's absolutely no reason for anybody not to go solar. For one, it's just secure. Like with me, you know, you were a single mom, I was a single mom. I had a budget, and it's like, okay.
Right.
And to have that continuous change or the unknown of what that bill is going to be moving in the future, every year it goes up 10 to 12%. So it doesn't matter if your bill is $150 a month or $700 a month, that probably matches, you know, your budget. It affects you in the same way, right? Your utilities going up, it's still going to affect you. And so I have people that, you know, their bills are maybe $100, but if I can make it where they're only $39, you know, and it'll never change. That bill will never change, where PG&E goes up every single year. And that they find ways, you know, you have more fees, more taxes, whatever it is, it continues. And they're, so it's just reliability.
And that's
security.
a really good point. I'm sorry because I want to stick on, because this is super important, because especially those who have fixed incomes or have a certain budget, at least we're in control of where we are. Because somebody had called me the other day, they were looking at a house and it had a lease. That's totally different. And it said it can go up 2 to 5% every year. Well, with SUNPOWER, I don't have that. I know what I'm paying every month.
Right.
And with PG&E, we have no control either. So of course I want to invest in something that I know is going to be the same every single month. And that's what I get with SUNPOWER.
And that lease, not to say, everybody's different, right?
Okay.
So somebody, I'll suggest that type of lease to somebody if, they're 75 years old.
Okay.
They want to go solar. They want to be able to have a good idea of what their bill is going to be, and they don't have tax liability to get the tax credit. So they say, okay, I want to lease.
Got it.
An
Okay.
escalating lease like that starts at a very low payment and it goes up a certain percentage, like 2% every year. Well,
Okay.
for that person, I recommend it because it's like, let the lower payments be for you.
Yeah.
And then when you transfer your home or you sell your home later, then that will be taken care of when you are passed
Right,
away.
right.
When you're
That's a
passed
good
away.
point.
Yeah. So it's a way
Yeah.
of getting them even lower,
Because
lower
they're on a
payments.
fixed income. Okay, I get that. All right.
Most people like the fixed number, no
I
matter
do.
what.
Well, I
no
do
matter what
just
they
because
are,
I
but
want to
yeah.
have that control of my budget.
Yeah.
And with PG&E going up so high. I mean, first of all, we're helping with green in our environments, as everybody knows, go green. And so talk to me about, because what's really cool too about solar is I have the app. So I'm looking every single day, what are my panels soaking up? What's sending to the grid? And am I using the energy from solar or am I using it from the grid? Because I want to
Right.
use it from solar.
Right.
And I want to send stuff to the grid. And then if it's opposite, then I'm just like, oh, everybody, we're going out to dinner. No, I'm kidding. So is that how does that all work? And so how does it work? How does somebody get that type of, how are they saving with their energy? And then I want to talk about the installation because you guys did a phenomenal job. And what differentiates SunPower is how they install their panels. And I think that's a big deal.
Yep.
So tell us again how the whole SunPower thing works, how solar
So,
works.
I want to keep it as basic
Okay.
as possible, but
Okay.
basically treat it like PG&E has now become like your bank account. So your solar is creating power, feeding the home, and you have excess power in the spring and summer. You're creating way more power than what your home will use.
Okay.
Right? And
Yeah.
you have to be built correctly to do this.
And you did mine right. Okay.
Yeah. And we looked at like future, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Future potential things that you were going to add to your home.
Right.
So, and that way you're not hit. If somebody adds an electric vehicle 4 years from now, I like to know, is that a possibility for you?
Right.
So then what happens is obviously in this winter and in the fall, your system's not going to be producing as much because we don't have as much sunlight, right?
Okay.
But that's okay. PG&E will keep track of how much energy that you are pulling from the grid at that time, if you do.
Okay.
If you do. Not
If you
everybody
do.
does in the wintertime.
Okay.
Depends on how you're built.
Okay.
But either way, you don't pay them for that.
Okay.
Because they are just going to pull it from your bank account. So in the spring and summer, you're overproducing. Sorry, I forgot to put my phone on silent.
That's okay.
And so in the spring and summer, you're overproducing and you're putting into your bank account. And then the winter and the fall, if you use more than what your system is producing, you get to pull from it. So that's why at the end of the year, when you got your true up, that's what it really comes down to. It's a checks and balance at that time.
Okay, so PG&E said, hey, you have an abundance here that you sent to the grid that I didn't use.
Right. And the reason why we overbuilt you was because we thought you might have, COVID changed a lot for people too.
Oh.
But we overbuilt you a little bit because we weren't sure because you hadn't moved into your home yet. Right. Or you had.
And I just started, but back in here, and then I had a student that was going to be joining me at a certain, So,
Which worked out well because a lot of people, I always recommend, actually, you'll find people that are like, they underbuild, but then you're only paying PG&E more for the difference. So it doesn't really make sense.
Okay.
Your best bet is to build like we did, which is build at what your usage is and give yourself a little bit of cushion. Because think about, had we not done that, all those people that were working from home now, their energy went up. Their usage went way up. And if they didn't have a cushion, they would have been paying PG&E for that.
Yeah, you know what, Lisa, that's a really good point. Because so people that are working from home, oh my gosh, and the kids on everybody's lifestyle is different even still. So those of you who haven't gone solar and compare your bill now from 3 years ago or 2 years ago, it's a lot higher. So going solar make a huge difference. And So I wasn't even, because I wasn't doing an electric vehicle, but a lot of people now are. So take that into consideration. Imagine I just went and got gas and the gas prices are a fortune.
I know, right?
So an electric vehicle, that's going to save money on gas. But if you don't have solar and then you're doing the electric vehicle.
And you're charging that electric vehicle, and PG&E just went up again, right? So when you go solar, it's like purchasing your power for about, 7 cents a kilowatt hour, right?
Okay.
Where with PG&E, you could see on average in the summer, right? People
Right.
are up to 42 cents a kilowatt hour.
My gosh.
On average,
Okay.
you could be at 28 to 32 cents a kilowatt hour. So it really is a no-brainer.
Right.
It's just people,
yeah.
they literally, it's like, they're like, this is too good to be true. And I'm like, I know.
It is.
I know.
Right,
it feels like I'm like,
my bill
what
was
other?
$67. I mean, I'm used to a minimum of $300 a month, a minimum, and then look at my summer months. So yeah. So okay, let's talk. Okay, so you guys, if you have questions, please put it on the comment section. I just think it's really about thinking about this, going, okay, when you get your PG&E bill, and I didn't know, you know what? I didn't know it went up again, and usually I do because I'm not noticing it.
Well, right.
It's
It
not-
doesn't
it's
affect
a mute
you.
point to me.
It only affects. It would only affect you if you use more than what your system. If we would have underbuilt
Right.
you, right?
Yeah. And what I like also is I like the style on my roof instead of the grids. But anyway, so I really think people think about this when you get your next PG&E bill. If you do not have solar, kind of look at what your lifestyle is. How is it going to change? And really call Lisa. We're going to put her phone number, her email, all of that on Facebook. I am a true testament of SUNPOWER and what she has done for me and the savings that I've had over the last year. And for me, actually, it's so funny. Do your clients get excited to look at their bill? Because I do.
They do.
Okay, yeah,
And the same thing when you said, "Oh, I check my app every day."
I do. Yeah, it's addicting.
And you know what? This should say something. I don't. I don't
Okay.
check my app because I am that confident in the reliability of my system that I just know it's taken care of. But yes, it
awesome.
is good to
Yeah.
check your app. And it does. It shows you, usually the system's outperforming what we've promised.
So let's do, before we get into the installation and the customer service, because it really exceeds my expectation and what they've done, great group of people, I'm going to share my screen because I'm going to have Lisa go over with you an example of what you just did as far as a comparison for somebody.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go to desktop.
And I removed their address. So.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so what are we looking at here?
Okay, so this person, their average bill was $446 a month, which is over on the left.
Ooh, that's a lot. Okay.
Right. And there's different, now this is somebody who we did a loan with.
Okay.
And, they didn't want to pay the cash. They were used to paying PG&E anyway. You have to pay PG&E no matter, you have to pay for your electricity somehow.
No matter what, right.
So there's two goals. Somebody who there's no fee loan, and if somebody wants to, they just want to have a loan for a couple months, a couple years, and then they're going to pay it off, put them in a different loan. This particular customer, they just want a low payment, write it out to the end, then.
Oh, okay.
And I was able to, and there's no down payment, right? Yeah. And now the to qualify has gotten much easier. You could have a credit score of 600 and still get a
That's good to know, people.
And
you need that savings to pay off your credit card.
So you could see on average she was paying 34 cents a kilowatt hour. And if you were to break down what she's paying now would be 11 cents, but she's not paying PG&E. She is paying for her solar, and it'll be $188 a month.
Because that's part of the loan.
That's her loan payment.
Oh
so
my
she'll no
gosh.
longer have a PG&E bill of $446 on average a month.
Okay.
Her new bill, and this is fully offsetting her. You see it 100% offset. And now her bill is $188 a month.
Oh my gosh. So it's really paying for itself, basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. And she has more
And
money.
you can see it's a third
Whoa.
per kilowatt hour
Okay.
of what she was paying.
So is SunPower strictly in like Northern California?
No, we're
or-
worldwide.
Okay.
That's what makes SunPower. When I left real estate and when I moved here, didn't know anybody, so probably
Okay.
not a great way to keep my real estate business going. And I have people like you, so
Right.
it's perfect. When I moved here, one of the things when looking into solar, I know California is going green, right?
Right.
We're
Oh,
the
yeah.
leader.
Right,
We follow,
yeah.
and then everybody kind of follows us. And SunPower they've been doing this for 37 years. We're a multi-billion, publicly traded,
Okay. Yeah.
and so what does the warranties mean to somebody for a company that we're
Yes.
backed by a multi-billion-dollar corporation versus, Joe's Solar or something like that, a
They
smaller
all
solar
have
company.
gone. You can't even. I see when people sell their homes and they're showing me their contracts. I'm like, this company isn't in business anymore.
Right.
But SunPower has been, which is another reason why I
37
went
years.
with you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
because we're nationwide, we are not limited to the market of just California solar market. We have everywhere.
Okay.
So yeah.
So if somebody out of state or Southern California that's watching, or let's say Santa Rosa, let's just take Santa Rosa. Would you do a Santa Rosa?
I can.
Okay, you personally can.
I
What
can.
is your territory then?
So it's grown now with the changes with PG&E and everything. I have branched out, so I'm able to sell in anywhere in California. And then we just opened up New Jersey. We just opened up Arizona, Texas.
Michelle, your
Yeah,
Jersey friends.
I know. I actually chose New Jersey. I'm
Oh,
like,
you
I want
did?
New Jersey. Yeah,
Okay.
I love New Jersey people.
But you don't sell there. You refer it out?
No,
Or
I
you
actually
personally?
because everything has gone virtual anymore, and it's all
Oh.
satellite and everything. But our installers, of course, are out
Are
there.
there, right.
Yeah, SunPower is everywhere.
Okay. So, and what I liked about that too, because you don't have to meet face to face, because you just need you had a list of a ton of questions for me to answer that was now and in the future. And then you just looked at all my bills. You were even I even gave you my account info. You guys go in, because you do a whole analysis, which gets you to what you're seeing here
Right.
on the screen for this person.
And the biggest thing is that you're warranted on this by a company that is going to be around, right? And we're telling you that you're going to get this, and you're warranted for 25 years on your system. Our system could go 40 years.
Okay, yeah.
But it's a big thing. The other thing is with us, like, even though I love you, but all my customers, I have that relationship with, they have my personal number.
Yeah.
It's very much more like the real estate business where you have a connection with your customers. It's not as retail, I guess.
It's not a
as lot of the-
transaction, it's a relationship.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely,
Yeah,
yeah.
because I'm not buying from her for,
We're done.
we're done unless I get proper. I mean,
Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so true. That's so nice. 'Cause I just thought about that, because in real estate, or my clients, who I become really good friends with too, they're like a 7 to 9 year change. And I'm not friends with them forever because of that.
Right.
But yeah, it's not like you're going to be.
Right.
Unless I got
Unless you're
another
out of battery,
house
or you're out of
something.
battery or
Thank
something
you for
like that.
having
But
that
yeah.
friendship with me.
No, I love that though. I get customers that I love that part of my
Yeah.
job actually, because
Yeah.
again, I do a lot of people that are retired, and it's funny because we'll text back and forth on other things completely, but I like the fact that I'm providing a service that is protecting them.
Yeah.
And so they're not worried as much. And I was a single mom, and so during those times, like, every bit counted,
Right.
raising my kids.
Yeah.
And so I get to help with that. I
Right.
hope,
That's
it
a
does.
good
It does
point.
make me feel good. Yeah.
So let's talk about the, here, we'll stop sharing the screen. I think everybody sees that. So you guys really, when you get your next bill, because the people are using, the heater is electric. Yeah, so that's the same.
Depending. Some people's heaters are a lot of people's heat is gas.
Or it's gas, okay.
Right.
And then if you have your water heater, a lot of water heaters, gas. So we will tend, so really the.
But a lot of
when
people
we're-
are switching over.
Okay, okay. And then I heard Sacramento County in the next, I don't know, 5-6 years or whatever, that, and this is hearsay, you guys, I did hear it, that all their homes, I mean, that it's obviously it's gonna have to have solar, but there's not gonna be any gas option. They're building their homes, Sacramento County, for electric, no more gas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it, but I like having a gas stove.
I know, right?
Yeah,
I
for
know.
the once a year cooking I do.
Yep.
Okay, so let's talk about the installation, because to me that was a big deal. So we have the warranty, and the warranty is the warranty for what?
That's
then-
that's
okay.
the difference between us as well, is that everything on your roof is 25 years.
Okay.
And it does not, we don't have the fine print. So we're not
true.
allowed to drop in production. The average solar panel is allowed to drop by 6% the very first year in production by warranty. So if your system was producing 6% less the first year, you would have been out of luck, because that's in their warranty.
Okay.
And then they're allowed to drop like 0.5%. So ours is quite different in that.
Okay.
At the end of 25 years, you're still going to be at 92% warranty.
Okay, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. They age. So
Yeah,
they're-
everything degrades.
Okay.
But
all
ours
right.
are at a much lower rate, and you're just protected so much more with our warranties, because we manufacture every part of the system. Like the house that you sold, that company
Yes.
went out of business. Those people were still warranted, most likely, but probably through about 5 different companies. One who made the panel, one who made the inverter, one who and then it won't include the labor, like if something goes
Right.
wrong, right? Because the person that installed it, they're no longer.
And you
then the
guys,
labor.
that's a big deal with SunPower, and for me it was. I just wanted a one-stop shop, so I didn't want subcontractors. I was dealing with
Right.
SunPower.
Yeah.
And every employee, everybody who stepped into my home, worked out of my home, up in the ceiling, in the attic, were SunPower employees.
Correct.
Period. End of story.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right.
You'll
and
only
then,
be dealing with us.
and so even the panel, and they installed it beautifully, and I mean everything looks beautiful out there. That's under warranty.
That's
as
a
well?
really big deal. Aesthetics are a big deal. You know, it's our homes. And you'll see, you could drive around and sometimes you're like, oh, in the front of their house, and they've got all this conduit. Now, that's not to say that certain,
Homes may need
certain
that,
homes
yeah.
may need, but there's a way of doing it. You could put it underneath the eave. You could put it way at the top, and you paint it so it blends with the roof. There's ways of doing that.
And
So
they
we
don't take a
that.
cheesy way out either. And they're talking to me about, I mean, it was great. It looks beautiful.
We
all
try
right.
to feed everything through the attic space, and it doesn't have to be walking attic space. We feed those lines.
Okay,
But
and
so
that's
that
how
way
mine went.
it kind of looks like your solar's floating on the roof versus, and that's the other thing, we don't have those huge high stands, right? Where you see, I mean, we do, on commercial buildings, flat roofs, sometimes you have to pitch the panel.
Yeah.
So it's up higher, but I've seen some scary stuff
and
out
you know
there.
what, being in real estate, and all my neighbors know I'm in real estate in my neighborhood here, and it's funny, you expect your realtor, they better have a good front yard paint, they need to have their good solar panels, and I did. I picked I love the option to have the really nice solar panels.
Yeah.
So are you guys selling mostly those now, or?
Oh no,
versus the grids, you can
everybody's
choose?
different. Like,
Okay.
Some people, the aesthetics means everything, but a lot of people can't even see the top of
Oh,
their
that's
solar.
true. Yeah, you can see
So,
mine.
so they don't really care if there's grid lines or no grid lines. What Jill's referring to is she has the all black panels, right?
Yeah.
So,
it's
so there's no
nice.
grid lines,
Yeah.
and it does look good.
I should put some signage on there, realtor.
Yeah.
Then everybody would know.
But it just depends. I have a customer right now. I'm meeting with them again tomorrow, and they said, "I build me a design. I want nothing on the front of my house." Right?
Oh, okay.
And so,
yeah.
and they know that it's going to cost them a little bit more because
they don't want
the front
that.
of their house actually produces more
Yes.
power than the
Yeah.
back of their house.
And you know what, that I get it. It's the look of it, but because when solar was going up years and years ago, I was like, oh my gosh, that's an eyesore. But it's really not anymore. I think it's something we get used to, and even though
their roof literally was pitched. I mean, it's super pitched.
Okay,
it's super, so you're gonna see those puppies.
Oh, look what they're getting.
In fact, it's gonna be a little bit more like difficult to install them because it's so pitched.
Okay. And let's talk about the installation, because you guys do it totally different. And I really liked how you installed the panels.
Right.
Because it's built in. It's not on top of my on the tile.
Right. We do a tile replacement system.
Tile replacement system. Okay, explain that.
So what that is we're removing the tile that's underneath the system. So you're not going to see it anyways. But there's a protection layer, and then you have what we call a flashing. And there's different grades of flashing as well, right? There's always ways of cutting corners. People go, we found that we're way better off not cutting corners, being maybe a little bit more expensive than the next guy, but we don't have to go back because we have roof leaks, right? So we can easily, we feel good about warranting against roof leaks as well, because we use a flashing. We go into the main beams of the home, not just the plywood, because what can happen is, those can lift, right, over time.
Sure.
And then some people, like, there was a very large company that went out of business, very large company, went out of business because, not necessarily because of their warranty issues of people fighting it out, but it was because of the roof leaks that showed up 1 to 5 years on average after the installation.
Oh, that's like high-tech plumbing. That's a whole other issue, but
I know what you're talking about, because I was afraid I had high-tech. And I'm like, no.
That's on the next episode.
I actually ended up having very good plumbing.
Yeah.
It wasn't that.
But no, it's true, because if you don't know and it hasn't been practiced, you're like the first 3 years of clients, they're not doing the installation right. You're going to be,
and if they're subbing that work out, they don't probably know how they're installing them. They don't really know, right?
Yeah.
So,
and they carefully took off. So it's not being installed right on the tile. I love how you guys do it. That was another reason why I went with SUNPOWER. You literally take it off.
And we mimic the tile with the flashing, so the flashing will resemble what your tile would have. It
totally does. Yeah. Because my tile, because there was a lot of, I have like 34, 37 panels. So imagine how much of my tile roof had to come off, and it's nicely laid out. They nicely lay it out. There's not one damaged tile from them taking it off. So I still have it. I don't know why, but I do.
Right. No, it's actually a good thing, because you never know, like, later on, if you had somebody working on the roof or whatever, you'll have those
just replace
tiles.
it. Yeah. No. And I think with our torrential rains, we had crazy rains here. Do you remember, like, last September, October? I mean, it was like nuts.
Yes, you mean when my fence fell down? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. It was crazy. And I haven't had a leak, nothing.
No.
So you're right. And mine went through the attic and all of that, but no leaks on the roof. So yeah. Okay, so Lisa, though, all right, so you can save money. Great one-stop shop with SUNPOWER, and best warranty, great installation, great customer service. Let's talk about the tax credit. Is there going to be a tax credit for 2022?
Yeah, there is 26%. You're still getting 26% tax credit. They extended it. Okay. So you get a 26% tax credit. Some of my customers, you could choose, like, if you go into a loan, you can lower your loan, keep your low payment on the loan. You could keep your tax credit and go to Tahiti while we still can. Or some people are like, awesome, because now I can pay the IRS with it, right?
Oh, right. So, that's true. Okay, and I literally got a $13,000 check back, and I have a loan. So I put it towards the loans, which brought everything so far down. Yeah. Because I know it's so easy to go, okay, I got $13,000. Woohoo, let's go. No, I took the credit and put it where it was due. Yeah. So I did that.
Yeah. But it's nice because they give you, on that, they give you 18 months to decide what you want to do with that with your loan, right?
Yeah, which was good. Yeah, I liked that. Mm-hmm. All right. So does anybody have any questions? If you do, please put it in the comment section. Michelle will text it over. And yeah, so I think we're doing good. Anything else? Michelle has Lisa's information. You guys call her. If you're on the fence about it, one phone call, especially after you get your high PG&E bill, and I have mine low. No, that doesn't mean I'm going to be paying for us to go to dinner, but could talk to Lisa. She can totally save you money. And if you are watching and you're not here in Placer County, Sacramento County, Tri-County area, she's still the one-stop shop. Call Lisa, even for just a free consultation. Is there anything else that you want to?
Well, if they mention that they watch you get a $750 rebate.
If they mention that they saw this on the Get Real with Jill show?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I love that. Okay, you guys, that's awesome. You just saved $750 by joining today's Get Real with Jill. Okay, anything else?
They can go